Good morning, welcome to 20 Minutes or Less. I'm Joe Beretta.
I'm L.A. Morgan, and you're about to get opinioned.
Yesterday, on the 25th of April 2012, Connecticut became the 17th state in the Union to abolish capital punishment. Connecticut joins New York, New Mexico, New Jersey, and Illinois as the 5th state in 5 years to turn its back on the death penalty. The state of California will be deciding on the issue this November.
The law will immediately go into effect, but it will only apply to new cases. That sucks for people already under the death sentence because they will have to carry out that sentence under the old law. From here on out, Connecticut's harshest form of punishment will be life without the possibility of release.
The repeal isn't so much the end of taking human life as it is the curbing of a never-ending appeals process. Only 2 people have been put to death in the state in the last 52 years. And both of those people volunteered for it. Governor Malloy said this about the appeals problem. The people of this state pay for appeal after appeal and then watch time and again as defendants are marched in front of the cameras, giving them a platform of public attention they don't deserve. And this is one of the big problems that people who are against the death penalty have with capital punishment. Taxpayers end up footing the bill of an endless string of appeals and court hearings. They'd rather those that are convicted of heinous crimes just take up shop in a cell so they never have to hear from them again.
But people have a lot of reasons for wanting to keep the death penalty. For example, people need to know that there are extreme consequences for extreme actions, and many people say that the death penalty is a deterrent. Plus, feeding, housing, and keeping criminals safe for their entire lives is extremely expensive.
I don't really agree with the whole point of view that the death penalty is a deterrent to murder. I think if somebody gets to the point where they're actually planning on killing somebody, they're not really weighing the consequences of murder. Capital punishment is a deterrent. I think it's probably about 1% deterrent and 99% punishment. Now, I'm not saying I'm for or against the death penalty right now. I'm honestly not quite sure where I stand, but if somebody murdered one of my loved ones, I'm pretty sure I would want it to be instituted on that person's face.
Exactly. There's such an emotional attachment when it comes to the death penalty, and I get it. And for me, it's not even necessarily with murder. If someone even looks at one of my relatives the wrong way, I want them to be severely and horrendously punished. And that's how I know that the punishment doesn't necessarily fit the crime.
And then, of course, arguments of wrongful conviction come into play, and that's a scary prospect. I wouldn't want to be the guy on that jury that sentenced someone to death only to find out that they were innocent. Couldn't live with myself. Sometimes a crime is so bad and so ugly that people can't help but want to find an answer, convict somebody no matter what. And I guess that's a problem I see with the death penalty. The decision to take a human life is a heavy one, and as humans, it's hard for us to keep emotion out of the decision-making process. We can't keep our feelings out of the logic equation, and that's a dangerous thing.
And it's not about whether or not a person deserves to die. In my humble opinion, there is a right and there is a wrong, and when someone repeatedly violates those laws, yes, they do deserve to die. But when you do that, you are making it about them, and you can't do that in these types of situations. The death penalty is not about the person being put to death. It's about us as a society deciding to legislate vengeance. These criminals may deserve to die a horrendous death. In many cases, lethal injection is probably way too humane for some of these monsters. But regardless of whether or not they deserve to die, do we deserve to be the ones to kill them? All that said, if anybody were to ever come near any one of my loved ones, I would be immediately pro-death penalty.
Moral of the story, stay away from our families. So obviously this is a tough issue on both an individual and a societal level, so what are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below.
Click the like button, and it would mean a lot if you could hit that subscribe button right up there, and you can always click this annotation bar or go to SourceFed.com to see our 5 daily stories or anything we have ever done. My name is L.A. Morgan.
Mine is Joe Beretta, and we will see you on the next story.